So I don't know if you caught it or not, but it's in the realm of taking your clothing off at this location. Okay, Zach.
Hello, and welcome to Guide to the Unknown's Ghost Adventures. I'm Will.
And I'm his big sister, Kristen.
We're back for Season 2.
Yes, happy to be here.
We've made it.
Yeah, finally.
This has been a really hard break between seasons.
Oh, absolutely. But you know what? Maybe it made coming home all the sweeter because I was happy to see our friends once I saw them. I haven't watched old Ghost Adventures in our interim between 1 and 2. I have watched more recent Screaming Room episodes, but to see this version of Zach, Aaron, and Nick felt good.
Okay, I've seen not a frame. I haven't watched a frame of Ghost Adventures in the off season.
Yeah. Well, you've watched what I've sent you because I sometimes take video of my TV and then I send you the clips.
That's true. Yeah, the utmost quality.
Yes.
So yeah, we're going to be talking about episode 1 of season 2 of Ghost Adventures, where they visit Preston Castle. This aired way back in June 5th, 2009. So 11 years ago.
Yep, a different world.
It sure was. And it was, man, for their season opening, what an arguably strong or weak show.
I think weak.
Really?
I found this to be a soft opening.
One of the craziest things they've done at all, from what I've seen, which is really only season 1, one of the craziest things they've done happened in this episode.
That is true. But I don't know. I found it low on bombast. Besides that one main big thing, which I wouldn't even call bombastic necessarily, but just strange.
Maybe lame? Would you call it lame?
Yes.
Okay.
I would.
Would you call it embarrassing?
Yes. I would also call it that. So we may as well talk about what it is. There's really no need to beat around the bush. Also, we want to mention for our listeners, probably old listeners, new listeners, you're just jumping in with this as it is. William and I have decided to switch up the way that we do Ghost Adventures. We decided that we want to have just a free-form conversation. So we're doing away with the categories and all that kind of stuff. We are just going to talk to each other the way that we would talk to each other in life, to a degree, and bounce around from things that really stood out to us and just discuss them as they come. Not even necessarily in chronological order. It'll really just be listening in on a conversation between friends who are excited about Ghost Adventures.
Yes. And this episode, just to at least set the table somewhat, do you have a synopsis of it?
No, I just have a couple of sentences from Wikipedia just to tell everybody what's going on.
Sure.
It's that in the second season premiere, the crew heads to Ione, California, to investigate Preston Castle, a former reformatory school. Also, this is Zach's first spirit channel, Spirit Possession, who he believed that it was the spirit of Anna Corbin. Again, I got this from Wikipedia.
That's what it said on Wikipedia, who he believed it was?
Yes, who he believed that it was the spirit of Anna Corbin.
All right. Mm-hmm. Okay.
So, Will, what did you think about that possession?
I really couldn't believe what I was seeing.
I couldn't either. I read that description before watching the show, so I was like, oh, God. I have never seen that happen on this show. And like we've said before, I watch more Ghost Adventures than you do, but I still haven't seen really a ton of it. And I've never seen him take on a possession in the way that he does here. He's been affected by spirit, but not possessed.
Good God. It was a really strange scene. He, first of all, the first time we even see a sign of this, it was for one of their first commercial breaks. They referred to how it's possible to experience a partial possession. Mm-hmm. And then they flashed forward for the commercial break, to make sure that everybody comes back after the break. Yeah. They show Nick turning a corner and catching Zach sitting in a chair in the middle of an empty room, slumped over with a stupid look on his face, I wrote. It made me think, because they talk about the notion of possession or being partially possessed, during their pre-lockdown where they're sort of, walking through the premises. And it really made me think you could tell Zach people say, when you walk through here, you pee your pants. You crap your pants. And he'll be like, "Well, really?" And then later on, he'll do it. Like, I really think you could trick Zak Bagans into pooping his pants on Ghost Adventures.
You might be able to, because he definitely finds things that they say that they have a precedent for already. So it's not so out there that this should happen to him. It's happened to other people. Why not him?
It is outrageous in every definition of the word that Zak becomes possessed in this episode. And he really does it, I was going to say to the nines, but I guess the classic instance of possession is The Exorcist. There's no dark demon voice. It's really just him looking like he's, stoned.
Different. I mean, I think he might have been trying to affect some sort of very mild feminine energy. Like, he had this very small smile on, like he was just kind of content. And he's not really like that usually during these things. So it wasn't as overt as doing like a girl voice or something. But I feel like he took on like a little bit of a primness that I think he would see as being ladylike.
That's interesting. I guess so, because they do posit, as you said, that he's now possessed by the ghost of Anna Corbin.
He never goes as far as like talking like her. He's never like, "I'm here in my room," no. But he seems to be being very affected by Anna. Like, yes, I like this room. I want to stay in this room. So he's still being like, Zak, but there's something else in there.
He goes like, "Come on in, guys. Come on in. What's wrong?"
When they cut to him sitting in that chair in that room, first of all, he wandered off. So they, Nick and Aaron all of a sudden are not with Zak, and they're looking for him because they're concerned. And then they find him just sitting in a chair in the middle of the room by himself in this weird way. And I found it fabulous. I know that I don't know what I did, but I know I wasn't just sitting watching the screen. I know I was like, or something.
It was truly horrible.
It's crazy.
I thought it was not believable. It was lame. Mm-hmm. It was truly embarrassing. And then he's walking down the hall, singing to himself. And
and I was annoyed that I couldn't tell what the song was. It was so brief.
Yeah, it was very, very brief, but he's singing. And also at one point he just goes like, "What? Oh, I should come back in?" And then he turns to Aaron and goes, "I think she's speaking to me." I was like, this sucks. This is so stupid. And I don't believe it. And I don't know. It was ridiculous. He's giggling to himself.
Yes.
Yeah, here's what he does. He says, "I'll come back inside." "What?" "I think she's talking to me." And then he asks Nick to go get some flowers for the room. Which amounts to nothing, I
know. Also, he says in voiceover that he wonders if the fact that he left her flowers is what made her want to, I guess, possess him or whatever. But the flowers weren't even a conscious choice he made. It was that one of the eyewitnesses, who I assume maybe work there as tour guides or whatever, gave him flowers. And they're like, "These are for you to put in Anna's room." So it was a very by proxy sort of gift.
Yes, I couldn't agree more. It was arguably meaningless from his standpoint.
Yeah, he really just, I don't know, somebody gave him something and he put it down. That's it. So, I don't know, maybe Anna's bar is very low.
Yeah. I don't know. I thought the entire episode was fine. There's definitely some classic Zak quotes in here because as you said, the entire place is a reformatory. So it's for kids that, committed crimes and now they've gone here it's basically juvie, right?
Yes.
So he does classic stuff like when he first walks in, he gives a whole speech. He goes, "My name's Zak. I got Nick and Aaron with me. And if you see this in my hand," it's some sort of a leather strap thing.
Yeah.
He goes, "I'm the new supervisor, and I'm the new guard. And if you're going to cause a ruckus tonight, then guess what? Slap. That's what's going to happen."
That's what's going to happen.
"Because I heard a lot of you are harming people and attacking people, and that's why we're here. Come on, make yourself known." So he does. There's a lot of that, but there's also just a lot of weird move stuff, a lot of strange moves. in this.
Yeah. Also, after he gave that speech, I wrote down that Aaron is such a little stooge because Zach goes, that ought to stir things up a bit. And Aaron goes, you think?
Yeah,
and then just like giggling and like following after him. And he so hero worships Zach. He's so like the Dwight to his Michael Scott. Yeah. It's crazy.
Without a doubt. And that particular speech is not even the worst thing that we have seen Zach say to spirits.
Oh, no.
So to carry that energy of like, well done, boss, you really got them. You think that would freak him out? Oh, you think?
Yeah.
Like, was not even up to par with what he's done in the past.
It is well in keeping, though, that he's like, okay, I'm going to kind of take on the vibe of the person who worked here. He must find this to be a tactic that he wants to stick with.
Oh, yeah, he definitely does. Later on, he goes, am I connecting with some of the evil people that like to cause harm here, that cause attack? Mm-hmm. And I'm causing no disrespect. He's hooked on the word cause.
Yeah.
He can't stop saying the word cause. I'm causing no disrespect to any of the spirits that may have died because of disease here, but I'm trying to pinpoint the evil bastard that likes to scratch people.
Yep. There was also a point where they were talking about the kinds of people who were in there, and one of the eyewitnesses tour guides said that, you know, he was talking about like a horrible crime that somebody perpetrated. So Zach says to him, so we're not dealing with juveniles who steal a pack of gum at your local hardware store. We're dealing with hardcore criminals. And I could just feel Zach's wheels turning. Like, okay, I'm like justified in yelling at these kids. These are like bad kids.
So what I'm hearing is
it's okay if I scream at them.
I can dial it up.
Yeah.
Now, what I'm getting from the story you're telling me is I can fly off the handle and act like a maniac.
Correct. Also, I want to point something out that I don't know if jumped out to you in the same way it jumped out to me. The same eyewitness he was talking to at that point, whose name is Josh, came back later to show Zach that he had 2 scratches on his leg.
Right.
That he said that he noticed after he took a shower and got out. Did you catch that?
I didn't catch that he said it happened after the shower.
Yes. But he was on the grounds. Why was he taking a shower there?
No.
What is this place exactly?
No, he had to have gone home.
No.
No, you're positing that he took a shower at this old abandoned castle?
Yes. I wonder if there is some sort of like locker room for the people who work there, because I went on the website for this castle, for Preston Castle, and they do like haunts there and stuff. So maybe for people who are covered in makeup, they have like a gym shower or something. No. I don't know. But the way it seemed to me was like he was talking to this guy, then he goes off with Gloria the ghost hunter. Then they're like, hey, Josh has something to tell you. And Josh is like, I took a shower, and when I got out, there were 2 scratches on my leg. So also him saying when he took the shower and he got out, then there were scratches, make me think that the scratches like happened. Well, he didn't say I went home to take a shower. He said I took a shower.
There's no way that I took a shower at the castle. I can't imagine it. That we see the inside of the castle and it's a hellhole.
I know, but they do tours there and haunted houses, so there must be some sort of safe structure.
I took a tour of Ellis Island.
Yeah.
And it was like all dilapidated and like it was like the old hospital. I didn't take a shower while I was there at all. It was not offered, nor did I get any indication that it was an option.
My point is that there must be areas that are not totally dilapidated. Look, I think it's weird. I'm not saying to you, I didn't write this down because I thought it was so normal, but it seems to me like this dude took a shower at work or something.
It's too crazy. No, what was particularly alarming, maybe the reason that I sort of glossed over the mention of it was just after I took a shower, is because the show cuts to a mirror selfie with side cheek.
Yes!
Where this guy shows off the scratches on his leg.
That's what I was going to say. I was like, is his butt in this picture too? They showed it kind of quickly, but I was like, this looks like a butt.
Oh, I saw I'm telling you, I saw a side view caboose.
Yeah. Okay. That's what I thought. I didn't go back, but I was like, what the hell's going on? This guy's taking showers at work, then taking belfies, which is a butt selfie.
Belfie.
It's a thing.
That's like a big bad belfie.
Big belfie. Yeah, the entire thing was confusing to me.
This guy took a thick belfie to show Zak Bagans.
Well,
a Bagans belfie to show off the scratches on his big booty.
Listen to this.
THICC.
That's right. He was a thick boy, and we got to see it. Now, listen to this. Something else strange happened that I don't know if you caught it or not, but it's in the realm of taking your clothing off at this location. Okay, Zak. When we let's do a little bit of a wardrobe check thing here. So when we first see him, he's wearing a classic bedazzled shirt like we've seen in season 1. It's tucked in, which I don't think we've seen before. I'm taking all of this in.
From frame 1, he looked like crap.
Okay.
The sun was behind him, I think, or maybe it was high noon. Mm-hmm. And so it was casting shadows of his sharp bangs that are super gelled. And so the shadows are cascading down his forehead. He looked like he just got out of the pool. Like it looked horrible.
Again, I have something to say about that. I said it cannot go unremarked upon Zak's hair. I didn't realize it was a shadow at first. I thought he had longer hair. So I said it's pointing downwards, still spiky. First, I thought it looked like he stood under a waterfall and then let his hair dry that way.
Yes.
But I was actually seeing the shadow of the spikes on his forehead. His spikes actually go straight out from the hairline.
Right.
Like an awning, like I said last season.
They're parallel to the ground.
Yes.
So when the sun is above you, they shine down on his forehead. And it really looked... I couldn't... There's a fake character that our friend Bobby has called Little Bingle. Mm-hmm. It's like a rapper, I guess. I don't know. Little Bingle. And I remember I was cutting his hair once and we combed it down on his forehead. And so the teeth of the comb split the hair into little strands on his forehead.
Yep.
It looked like crap. I couldn't believe it. I was so glad it turned out to be a shadow because I was like, oh no, the show got worse. Now I can't even look at him. It's the worst choice.
Yeah, I actually, when I was in 6th grade, and it's my 6th grade picture, I had a friend who had very fine hair, and she had bangs that naturally kind of parted like that because her hair was fine, and I thought they looked really good. So I bought thinning shears, which are these scissors that basically have like notches in them. So it takes out just some of the hair when you cut. And I went to town on my bangs with them because I thought it would make the same effect. And it did not. It just made them like chewed up looking. And that's what my 6th grade class picture is.
Gross.
So I wonder if Zak had a plan to grow out his hair at this point, because it just seems very unusual for me that you wouldn't get cleaned up for your TV show. So like maybe he was going somewhere with this, because even the sides and the back were also very long. So I don't know. I mean, maybe he was just busy and he couldn't get a haircut, but I wonder if he had a plan to grow his hair out and then he abandoned ship at some point.
Maybe. Either way, whoever was getting that initial shot, Aaron should have been like, hey, listen, the light is really making you look weird. you look even more like, some kid that works at Hot Topic.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, but I got away from my original point that kind of speaks to the shower of it all, kind of, not really. But so he's wearing that bedazzled shirt tucked in while he's doing the daytime interviews. Then he is still wearing it when they go into lockdown mode at night. A little while into the investigation, he has changed. He is now in a plain long-sleeved shirt, not tucked in. What is happening here? People are showering. People are changing. What is going on in Preston Castle?
Is that right?
Yes, it is. There's no mistaking it. He goes from short-sleeved shirt that's bedazzled to long-sleeved plain shirt.
That is fascinating because I did some digging about this episode online. Mainly I wanted to see what people said about the possession angle. And I found a couple of threads on Reddit where people were like, the possession in this episode, I just didn't buy it. And then people were like, well, what do you mean? Like, we've seen them get possessed in other episodes, which told me like, oh, we can look forward to this happening some other time as well.
Okay.
And they were like, and they all seem, I don't know, I believe them. Why wouldn't you believe them? What are you talking about? And then rumors started to fly about this episode. One person said that they heard somewhere, I could not get this verified, so I'm truly sharing a rumor. Mm-hmm. They heard that the network forced them to go back to Preston Castle for reshoots because they didn't have enough for a show. Hence this phony baloney possession storyline.
Okay.
So arguably the possession could be reshoots. But there are a lot of people that are like, no. There are plenty of episodes where they don't get like evidence. Mm-hmm. So, if they had the angle of like, oh, you have to go back to get more, that would just be so deflating and fake and obvious and whatever. So no, I don't believe it. I don't think there were reshoots, so he either changed his shirt in Preston Castle at some point,
which apparently there's a precedent for if people are taking their clothes off and showering.
I don't think that guy took a shower.
I'm team shower.
No, I'm not team shower.
Yes.
As a matter of fact, I think there's a moment where they're exploring the grounds and they make mention of how there's a newer penitentiary nearby. And Preston Castle.
Oh, so you're saying he went to that penitentiary to take a shower?
Yes.
William?
At worst, if he didn't go home to take his shower and his mirror selfie, which we can even analyze the mirror selfie, the Belfie,
I know,
to try to get any hint of home life.
Oh, that's true.
Right? We could go to the footage. Then we can also double check the bun angle.
We won't know, though. It doesn't really matter. I don't know what this guy's house looks like, and I don't know what the showers at Preston Castle look like.
But arguably, the showers at Preston Castle might not look like this guy's home. And also, I'm saying it's not Preston Castle, but maybe the newer facility, because I know for a fact any bathroom in Preston Castle doesn't look like this guy's home, because a lot of the floor is rotted outside Preston Castle. There's no running water in there.
It is more preposterous to think that this guy went to another nearby penitentiary and took a shower than doing it there. I think it's weird that you think it's not just home or the penitentiary. Why would he be going to this other place? What's the scenario?
Here's the scenario. I can't believe you think that it's outlandish for me to posit this. I do. It.
I don't think thinking that he went home is outlandish. I think any other location is.
All right. I don't know this guy's life. Mm-hmm. Right? I don't know
who this
Joshua.
Guy.
His name is Joshua. What is his association?
Or maybe it's just Josh. Just Josh.
What's his association with Preston Castle? Do we remember?
No, we don't know. It just said eyewitness.
Okay. Maybe he's an eyewitness. Maybe he's a ghost investigator. Here's something. He's
not a ghost investigator because they specify that. I think all the eyewitnesses in this episode are like tour guides or something.
Tour guides?
They never explain.
Okay. If there's a newer facility nearby, maybe he works there. Maybe if he's a guard or something at the newer facility, they do have a locker room or something like that. That makes more sense to me than he took a shower in this 100-year-old abandoned castle that is so in disrepair that ghost shows are going there.
Again, you moron. Again, you little idiot. Not the entire place is in complete disrepair because they do ghost tours there and stuff. There must be areas that are safe to have the general public. So, William, I think it's weird. Again, I don't even know why I'm arguing this, but you have no evidence that says that he works at a nearby penitentiary. For all we know, this guy is an office banker.
Kristen, you have exactly the same amount of evidence as me. And your conclusion is he took a shower in the castle. You and I have access to the exact same information. And you're suggesting he took a shower in a haunted house.
Okay, listen to me. Where are they right now? They're in the castle, right? He says, all right, I just took a shower and when I got out, blah, blah, blah. There is no extra information. There isn't I went home. There isn't anything. So if he said no extra information, that makes you think he must have taken the shower where they're talking about it. So and there's no need to give any extra information because they all know that they're right there.
Kristen, it's so crazy.
I know. That's why I pointed it out.
Have you taken tours of places that are abandoned?
No, I haven't.
You never have.
No, not a place that's like broken down like this. No, I haven't, I don't think.
All right, I have, and let me tell you, they don't all start in some sort of like communal space that's nicely dressed up. Usually they'll just like start right outside the abandoned building. They don't dress one up to look nice and offer you a shower. Right?
I don't think that they do that. That is not what I think. Look,
now,
my whole point.
Started, would anybody like to take a shower?
No, you are gaslighting me. You're making it sound like I'm saying something that is even crazier than what I'm saying.
No, I know exactly what you're saying.
No, but I didn't say, there must have been a general area where they offer people showers, so there's no need to say, Kristen, that's not what they do. I know.
You're saying that there's a nice part, that they made a nice part of the abandoned
Maybe
castle.
for the staff. William, again, I think it's weird. I don't know. I am not saying this definitely. But
all right, can I offer evidence that would support your theory?
Yes.
Okay. Allie and I, this is so weird. Allie and I were recently at Lake Placid. We were in upstate New York, and we went to tour a facility where they studied disease.
Okay.
Can't remember what the disease was. It's too late. I can't remember anymore.
Yeah.
So it was built in this it was in this building where they actually studied the disease, and people work in this building, right? But like as you're walking through, there are photos on the wall of the old laboratory, and it's the room you're standing in. Mm-hmm. And there are beds in there of where patients where this horrible communicable disease was studied. And then you can continue the tour into the basement where there are these infographics, and behind like a very thinly sheeted off portion of her room, I could see a microwave. And I was like, oh, that's a break room.
Yeah, right.
Oh my God, people are back there like nuking up a Hot Pocket in this like disease, like a study center. I was like, this doesn't seem good to me, that Hot Pocket. Don't do it. So maybe that speaks to your theory that the tour guides at Preston Mansion have access to El Baño.
It's not even
shower.
It's not even a theory. It's a question. I don't think that's normal. I think it's very weird. But the guy said nothing to indicate that he had showered anywhere but there. He was like, "Hey, I'm right back. I just took a shower and I have these scratches on my leg."
I have to admit to you, I'm far more interested in the circumstances of this man's shower than I am in anything Zach got.
Yeah, I am too.
I want to know.
That's what I'm saying. I felt like this was a light episode. I feel like it was very like sounds and EVP heavy.
Yeah, a lot of EVPs for sure.
I never hear EVPs, or I hardly ever can decipher anything from them. So the things that they were reacting to were a lot of things I was just like, I don't know. There was something about it just didn't feel as gravitas-y this episode.
I agree.
Even though it had a gravitas-y moment, obviously, with the possession. But it, clearly fell flat.
I think this somewhat underscores your point of a lack of gravitas. At one point, Zach asks, the spirits, just a room, an empty room, he asks, "Did you die from a disease in here?" And the EVP comes back, "I don't know." Yeah. I don't know is such a weak sauce answer, which,
truly.
I guess maybe when you die, you don't know what you died of. If you become a ghost, you know exactly what happened, or you're like, I got weaker, and then I died. But it's just like to hit you back with an EVP that says, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, unsure.
LOL IDK.
Yes,
like it's the absence of anything.
Right, we're not really entirely sure. Yeah, I don't know. There was just something about it that wasn't as something. I'm not sure exactly what it was.
It might be. See, what's funny here is I'm also very curious as to why you didn't like it, because I certainly got from this episode what I feel I've gotten from every episode, which is like made up silly stuff. Like,
it wasn't as silly. I guess it wasn't as fun.
I can see that, but I do want to point out that one of my favorite moments of the entire episode, one that almost goes by as if it's totally normal. Aaron, Nick, and Zach each lie down in a bed.
Yes, this is one of my favorites.
Side by side.
Yep.
There are 3 old, moth-eaten, nasty mattresses, and they each take one and line them up.
Yep.
So boom, 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 Nick, Zach, Aaron lying in these beds. And it only only made me think of like the Three Stooges. I'm not a Three Stooges fan. I never was, but like I have a very clear image in my head of like a scene where, you know, in the morning you fade in on a room and it turns out that they all sleep in twin beds next to each other, you know, because they're inseparable.
Yeah.
They're inseparable. So they're constantly with each other. They wake up together in the morning. They go to sleep together at night. They all share a bedroom. They just each have their own bed in that room. And it really made me think of Nick, Zach, and Aaron as like the Three Stooges of ghost hunting. Because then they're all just huddled around this recorder, you know, like talking to nothing. It's just like it's like a cartoon scene.
Yeah, it's really, really goofy, that scene. I also really love seeing them just like all lined up together. Around the time that they're doing that, they put together a theory that, if not valid, I found an interesting theory to think about. So they had this like, I don't know if it was an EMF pump. So
Yeah.
I had never heard of this thing before, but it apparently pumps out electromagnetic energy because maybe that gives something the ghosts to work with and like draw from, which makes sense because in a lot of theories of ghost hunting, they take energy from things that allows them to manifest in different ways.
Right.
So rather than them just taking energy from your cell phone or from machines in the room, I guess this is something made specifically for them to take energy from this thing. So they say that they see a mist, which I didn't even see, actually. I couldn't see it at all.
I wrote down the same thing. They put like a red circle on the screen and it drags across. They're like, we captured this mist. Couldn't see a damn thing.
Me neither. I saw literally nothing.
Yeah.
But so they see this mist, and they say that at the same time as what they saw the mist, that Aaron had looked over at the EMF pump and he was like, dude, its energy is draining. Then a couple of minutes after that, they hear something that they think sounds like a woman screaming.
Yeah.
I thought the scream kind of sounded like a gust of wind. It might not have even been that, because, you know, whatever. But, like, I don't think I would have, if you played me this noise and said, what is this noise? I don't think I would have said it's a scream.
Right.
But whatever. But they took all these factors together and fashioned them into the theory that there was an entity that used energy from that EMF pump to materialize into mist, and then further, I guess, use that to make the sound of the scream. Which is fun.
I definitely think it's fun. When they were lying in bed also, I remember Zach going like, if anyone's here, come up on these beds and take our energy to try to, you know, give us a message or move something.
Yeah.
And it was like, I thought that idea was interesting too. Like, come up onto these beds and zap my energy from me.
Yeah, like, I'm here. I'm ready. You can just like use my energy as you want. I'm lying down anyway, so I'll be nice and safe.
Yes, I am a battery for you.
Right.
Is a very, very weird notion. But one that's kind of engaging and interesting.
Yeah, I thought it was kind of cool.
Yeah, there were interesting things that happened with technology in this episode, I thought. They investigate the area where Anna Corbin's body was found in a kitchen cupboard. And they're like, the battery pack on the back of a person they're speaking to dies. You know, like their technology just instantly stops working.
Yeah.
And stuff, which I always like that. I that's a ghost
It's classic.
Investigation mainstay. Yeah, it is classic. It's like, oh yeah, the battery's instantly drained. It's impossible for that to happen, and yet it did. They're just not working anymore. I thought that was kind of fun.
Yeah, I did too.
I have another weird thing here that I want to call out. It's early on. It's pre the lockdown. Zach is learning about bits and pieces of the institution itself, and he learns that there's a graveyard nearby for some of the kids who died and their bodies weren't claimed, which is a very sad notion.
It's horrible.
That kids were locked up here for doing something wrong. Maybe they were completely monstrous. It said that you could have been locked up there for anything from stealing to murder.
Right, but they also said that there were some kids who were there who were just abandoned.
Right, yeah,
that weren't even, said to have done anything wrong. It's horrible. And
for them to die and be unclaimed is like a true, it's failing them.
Oh, yeah.
What they were lacking something. And maybe they even acted out because they didn't have support. And that's what landed them in there in the first place. And then they died, and then nobody even claimed them. So they end up in this graveyard.
Right.
But as Zak is learning about the facility, at one point, the guy he's talking to says that there was a slaughterhouse in the institution at some point, that sometimes the kids that were locked up here would be in charge of like cutting up the meat. And I guess they were just, sort of used for their labor to cut up, food or whatever to give to a store nearby or something. I don't know. But so Zak pounces on that and he goes, slaughterhouse? He was like, what was that some sort of like a form of therapy? Was that to get their like energy out? And the quote I wrote down was that, like punching a beanbag pillow?
Yeah, I know.
And I just wrote down, this dude sleeps on a bag of beans. To him, that's normal.
No way. He does not sleep on a bag of beans. He sleeps on probably like a crushed velvet, really nice situation. Bag of beans.
A bag of beans with a silk pillowcase.
Yeah.
What is that, like punching a beanbag pillow? I've never have I heard of a beanbag pillow.
I can only imagine that he meant a punching bag.
He absolutely did. It's just one of those instances where his mouth is moving faster than he's like really thinking. So he's on the spot and he has to host this thing. So
totally.
He's not always, I think, up to the challenge of speaking off the cuff.
Yes.
There's also a moment where they're climbing some stairs inside the institution, and it's like a very narrow staircase, very thin walls. And he goes, look at how tight this staircase is. I'm on the stairs right now. I was like, that was good enough to make it into the show. that bit of commentary.
I didn't catch that. I did notice that they still haven't changed from the intro, the quote from, I think, Bobby Mackey's Music World, where he says, if this is the portal to hell, then why don't you come up out of that ground and get me? I would think that they would take the opportunity between seasons to ditch that.
You would think you take the season break to do some tightening up. Mm-hmm. Some format stuff. Use some of your best footage, some of the new footage you're capturing for season 2 to make the intro a little bit tighter, anything.
I was surprised by that.
Kristen, even Ghost Adventures took some time in the offseason to reconsider format and stuff. They didn't do that for Ghost Adventures.
Well, they did a little bit. They didn't do that with the intro, but they did add a new thing, which is, how they still were going through the location, placing tape X's on the places they wanted to go back and investigate. They did add in a little recap of everything that they taped off and that they want to visit later. So after the initial daytime investigation, they went like, we'll be going to the basement to do blah, blah, blah. Then we'll be hitting the stairs. So that was a new consideration for season 2.
That was good. I thought that was a great way to sort of set the scene and the expectation of these are the places that we're going to revisit.
Yeah.
I did like that quite a bit. Mm-hmm. There was also a weird thing that happened in this where Aaron, so we've already set up that dude took a selfie of his thick booty getting scratched in the shower room of Preston Castle.
Yes.
And
I'm as surprised as you are.
Yes, of course you are. It's definitely true. And Aaron gets scratched downstairs. He starts going like, oh, dude, my fudging calf is burning.
Oh, my God, I know.
He's acting up so much. And then they pull up his pant leg, and you can see 2 scratches and a third one slowly building.
I would also like to note, they don't simply pull up his pant leg. Zak comes over to see and he goes, open it.
Really? Is that what he said?
Meaning pull up your pant leg.
Pull up my pant leg. Open it. So anyway, Aaron's freaking out, because he got scratched and stuff. And at a certain point, he's going like, I can't believe it, dude. He's like really like getting worked up.
Yeah.
And then Zak goes, Don't open yourself up to them. That can be very dangerous. Don't say you're scared or you're hurt. They can hear that. They can hear what you're saying. Mm-hmm. As if it's dangerous for the spirits to hear that you're scared.
Yeah.
Zak constantly sounds scared.
I know.
They all do.
I know.
And not only that, they can also hear you saying, don't say you're scared.
Totally. I wonder.
Keep it all in.
I wonder if the fact that he had already been affected with this scratch made it different in some way. But yeah, you guys are constantly expressing how scared you are. So what are you talking about? Also, did you notice that when Aaron was like, oh, my calf is burning, Nick was like, me too. I'm feeling the exact same thing. And then he dropped it.
Oh my God. There was more bro-ish competition in this. There's a moment where Nick just starts taking a lead.
Yes, I think that really jumped out from Liz of Ghost in the Burbs telling us about this, how there seems to be a power struggle between Nick and Zach. I felt like Nick was really shooting his shot in this episode.
1,000%. He starts like going like, no, I hear something. I think it wants us to go downstairs. And he's listening. He's going like, do you hear that? Do you hear that? So now Zach is forced to be the cameraman for Nick's moment.
Right.
And he is not a very charitable yes and cameraman. Mm-hmm. He starts, Zach, I think his impulse is, it's the Zach show. And so even though the eyes are supposed to be on Nick, because Nick is experiencing a thing, he turns the camera to look at Aaron. He's like, I don't think we should. He's actively disagreeing with Nick's assertion. But then finally he acquiesces and he does follow him downstairs. And Nick starts saying that he feels an energy. And you said that Nick started, when Aaron got scratched, being like, me too. I felt like in this moment when Nick is like, I felt something.
Yeah.
I felt something. Zach jumps in. He's like, oh, I feel it too.
Yep.
Oh, and it's even worse for me.
Yeah.
Like he had to take control back.
Yeah, absolutely.
And it was awkward. You could cut the tension between them with a knife.
I know. I don't remember how long Nick lasts, but I feel like it's a decent amount of time. I mean,
like this 10 years.
Yeah, right. So this it's going to be so weird to see this continue.
It's weird to see it now.
Yeah, like I can't believe that they didn't cut it off sooner.
I know. It's actively uncomfortable because you can feel them competing with each other.
Oh, yeah.
Or at least I can. I don't even need to know that Nick eventually leaves. I can tell that Zach has an ego and that he is the ringleader, or fancies himself the ringleader.
He's definitely the ringleader. Like, say what you want, but that guy's got a charisma that's like leader charisma.
It's true. You don't, when the show starts, you don't see Nick. You see Zach being like, Preston Castle, a place so deadly. Like he's able to do those things.
And I prefer that to if it were Nick. Nothing against him or anything. I really don't know a lot about him. Right. But like, even when Nick is going through this kind of stuff, it's less interesting to me to watch than it is with Zach. That doesn't mean it's less genuine or something or whatever. I mean, but it's more interesting to watch Zach get possessed than it is to watch Nick like feel a vibe.
I do agree. I even think like the one moment that Nick has where he does get to be the person on camera, he sort of flubs a thing he says. He's looking down the stairs. He's like, did you hear that? And he goes like, oh, I just feel something down there. My ears are starting to water, dude. He says, and I was like, oh, he means his eyes, but it definitely sounded like he said ears. My ears? Your ears are starting to water? Ew.
That doesn't sound good.
Ew, that's weird. I've never heard of that in my life. You just flub the line and it's in the show. My ears are...
Well, I mean, again, neck and neck, because Zach has a moment like that where he says, there's a lot of bad energy here, isn't there?
Isn't there? Yeah. But at the end of the day, Zach has got the goods. I was even paying attention to pre-lockdown. They're walking around with, is it Grace?
Yes, the ghost hunter lady.
Yes, she's from a group called Ghost Trackers.
Or Gloria.
It's Gloria. Yeah, thank you. From Ghost Trackers, which really got me thinking that, like, if you just Google ghost
with any
verb,
yes,
there's got to be something.
Yeah, absolutely.
Ghost lookers.
Ghost losers.
Ghost wanters. Yeah, ghost losers coming soon.
Ghost plumps.
Ghost plumps. But like I was paying attention to Zach as Gloria was leading them around Preston Castle, because she's going like, yeah, no, we've investigated in here. And he goes, whoa, hold on a minute. And he like doubles over and is like, I just felt something rock me. And I looked at Gloria, who's just a normal person, albeit she's in a ghost hunting group. But, who am I to speak? We're doing ghost adventures.
Absolutely.
Spinning off of Guide to the Unknown. So, but like, she's like a normal person. And then I'm looking at Zach, who's looking decidedly not. He's looking like, a showman.
Yeah.
Beside Gloria.
He looks like an entertainer.
Yes, she does nothing to dial up ridiculous things. And then there's him like getting aches and pains, like going to cheating to the camera. And I was just like, he's got it. He's got the boy's
star.
got the goods. He is.
Yes.
Born star.
He absolutely is. Well, Will, I think that kind of concludes what I have to say about the episode. I think that we've kind of taken a nice little bouncy tour through my notes here.
Okay. I have one final thing that I want to acknowledge.
Please.
This might be the first time that Zach experiences feelings, the origin of which he does not know. For in this episode, Zach goes, "Don't film me. Don't film me right now."
Oh, my God.
And then they pretend to stop filming him. But the ruse only lasts for like a moment because the cameras are on and we're watching a show.
Right.
And he goes, "I'm crying." He goes, I can't believe it. I'm crying right now.
Wait,
he goes, look at me, dude. I've got tears coming out of my fudging face.
Oh my God. How did I miss that?
It was just prior to the possession. Like immediately. It was probably the first stage of the possession. He's like, am I feeling someone else's emotions right now?
Oh my God.
And
like
it was
Seinfeld. What is this salty discharge?
Yes, it was definitely like a precursor to the Zak Bagans as I first met him. Late season Zak Bagans was like, I feel aggression, I feel rage right now.
Right.
Yeah, look at me, dude. I've got tears coming out of my fudging face. That's what I wrote down. This is a family show, damn it.
Of course. Oh my God.
Yeah.
Well, that is a landmark.
Yeah, I'm telling you, I felt like this episode was full of lame stuff. Between him giggling peacefully in that room, pretending to be possessed.
Serene.
And crying, and Aaron's calf burns, and then they're all being like, oh, I feel it. No, I feel it. It certainly gave me everything I was anticipating, and I was like, we're back.
Yeah.
We're back. Ghost Adventures is back, and Ghost Adventures Adventures. We're back.
That's right.
We're really in it.
Oh, we absolutely are. And let me tell you guys what we're going to be in next week. So next week, the GAC crew travels to St. Augustine, Florida to investigate the Castillo de San Marcos, a 17th century Spanish fort.
Ah, okay. Mm-hmm. So maybe we'll even get a sign over there of whether or not they have a shower.
I guess we'll have to see. In a fort, would you have a shower?
In an old dilapidated castle, would you have a shower?
I know. I think it's strange too, which is why I brought it up.
Equally plausible, I would argue.
I don't know. What is a fort used for exactly?
Usually, I guess, if it's a fort, I think, like military positioning or something.
Yeah,
right?
Positioning. I don't know. It's not like a base where they would have a shower, so I guess not. Who knows? You know what? I guess we'll see if any of the eyewitnesses come back after briefly being away, claiming to have showered. Now I'm talking like Zach.
Common phrases heard around a fort. Where's the Sarge? Oh, I think he's taking a dip. I think he's in the shower. I think he's taking a tub.
He's having tubby time, I think, down there.
Come wash my back. It's an EVP they get.
Yeah. Well, guys, thank you so much for joining us for this episode. We will see you next week. And make sure to check out our mothership show, Guide to the Unknown, where every week for the past 2.5-3 years, we have been talking about interesting, mysterious, spooky topics with a pop culture bent. So if you like this show, you're probably going to like that one. And you can find everything that we produce over at gttupod.com.
That's right. And if you enjoyed this show, please consider subscribing and leaving us a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts. We love to see what people have to say about our podcasts. And Ghost Adventures, this is really only the 9th episode that we've done. So the show is still young and we can use all of the help, all of the support that we can possibly get. So please consider spreading the word. And thank you so much for hanging out with us. We'll be back next week so that we can go forting around with some ghosts.
That's right.
But for now, I guess we've seen all the ghosts we could possibly get out of Preston Castle.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. So we'll see you next time, everybody, when we go forting around with some ghosts. But until that time, we're Guide to the Unknown.
And these are our Ghost Adventures. Boom.
All right, do me a favor. I want to get cover art faces.
Okay.
I want us to both look dopey and vacant like Zak Bagans did.